What is up, guys? Lone Hawk here today, and welcome back to Coach Hawk, the series where I watch footage sent in by you guys, review it, and give you my comments on how I think you can improve. In today's video, we have the star, MisterMercy, number 1942. He says feel free to add him if you'd like, so that is why I've included his number there. We're going to start up the gameplay right away here. I've actually taken a look at his statistics, but I couldn't gather much from them. He's skill ranking 38, so pretty low. Win rate of 35%, and none of his statistics really help me see what type of player he is. I can tell he plays tanks sometimes because he blocks damage, but that's really it. Now, I've watched this gameplay actually a few times, given you guys told me you'd like to see me watch it ahead of time. And this is very fast-paced gameplay, so I'm going to talk fast. So brace yourself for that. All right, let's go. Look where his team is going. 3 of his teammates have just gone left, and where is he? He's still here. Ignoring the fact that he didn't see that Junkrat trap, because that happens to the best of us, 3 of his teammates pushed left, and he kept pushing straight up the middle. Now, this can be a good thing, but it wasn't in this situation, because he didn't have a damage dealer with him, and his teammates didn't have a tank with them. So you really just split up the team into 2 groups that can't defend themselves, and both groups died. Now, rewind 2 seconds here, so I can talk about it a little bit more. These are the teammates that died. You can see their skulls over on the left there. Those are the teammates that died. Not sure what this charge was. Probably a misclick. That's all I'm guessing. Right here, you should back up. He needs to back up. Farah needs to back up too, because this is the staggered death cause. Exactly what I said in my other video the other day. Him and Farah couldn't take that point on their own. They couldn't do it. And they tried still, and it cost them their lives. Now, if you look at where he is, and you look at where his team is, they're doing it again. 2 teammates dead, 3 teammates alive. I bet they all try to push the point. 2 teammates, I see him pushing the point. A 3rd, I see him pushing the point. Yes, they're trying to push the point. Now they're all dead, and MisterMercy is still here. You need to be backing up right here. Your team isn't with you. 2 of them at least are dead. You don't know what the enemy. You don't know what the enemy ults are up because nobody communicated it, and you weren't there. So you don't know if Hanzo has an ult. You don't know what's going on there. You need to back up. And when I mean back up and wait for your team, I don't mean wait like he's doing. So pause for a second. Pause for a second. He shouldn't have been waiting like he was doing. He was waiting right by that point, just wasting his shield. Enemies were shooting at him, shooting at his teammates, and they weren't really sending much back. They just need to round the corner, be completely out of the enemy team's line of sight, recuperate, Lucio speed boost onto the point. That's what I think should have been done. Now this, he got a kill. He got a kill, yes. But I don't think it was a good play. I don't think Reinhardt should charge out of shield like this for no reason. So many Reinhardts do it. It is a big pet peeve of mine because your whole team that was behind your shield, relying on your shield, now has no shield, no tank in front of them, and you didn't even communicate to them that you were going to do that. So now they're all exposed and they're all thrown off, and they're like, what did this Reinhardt do? Now, that being said, I think he kind of lucked out. Literally, the whole enemy team focused him as soon as he did that, and his team capitalized on that. The whole enemy team were like, what? They all turned and looked at Reinhardt, and that ended up being a good situation. But I think it would have been easier just to push with his team and shield them or communicate that he was doing that. Now, he didn't even try to escape the mail. I would have tried to charge out of that. But hey, they got the first point. Not too bad. Not too bad.
We should push hard.
Kimba Flea says they've got 2 down and you should push hard. He's acknowledging. That's good. You don't really need. You don't have to use your mic. But acknowledging is a good idea. Fire strike, man. Use your fire strike. Didn't fire strike. I think you only got 1 kill out of that. You could have gotten more, I think, if you fire striked. Alright. Now this is a situation where we see a Reinhardt going full Rambo mode. Look at where Reinhardt is. See where Farah's with him, but the rest of his team, if you notice, let's take a peek back. Wait. You'll see it. Here, you see these 3 teammates? 3 teammates that aren't with him. That means there can only be 2 teammates with him, and the enemy team respawns next to the point. So you're going to have a hard time taking this point with you and just Farah and maybe someone else. I'm not actually sure who else was with him, but I wouldn't have done this. I would have backed out. I wouldn't have ulted there because, I mean, he got some kills with his ult, yes, but that's not good. I mean, kills are good, yes, but he didn't do anything with it. He got kills with his ult. He got 1 kill with his ult, I think. Nobody capitalized on the fact that he ulted and they lost the point. So it was basically a wasted ult. If you think about it, kills and damage don't really matter if the enemy respawns or they come back before you do. Like if you 1-for-1 the enemy team on this objective, they're going to get back there faster. So what are you going to do? Hopefully that makes sense. I kind of just went off on a tangent. Chasing the soldier. Why are you chasing the soldier? Don't. You're really just feeding Soldier 76 ult charge when you try to chase him. Once again, not with the team. Try sticking with the team. Communicate. Spam group meet. Like, look where his team was and look where he was. They were all in that tunnel. He was chasing down Soldier 76. I wouldn't have chased down Soldier 76. And I encourage you guys, if you don't get something I said or I missed something, it's because this gameplay is very fast. This is a very fast-paced gameplay. So I'm trying to cover everything without making the video too long, because it's also very long gameplay. Okay, with the team, good. Now, there's no one behind him. I can't blame him. Again with the random charge. This time he didn't get anybody. You're going to die very quickly. Team isn't there to capitalize on the fact that the enemy team turned away. Honestly, don't do that. Do not do that. You didn't help your team with that. Your goal is to soak up damage and be the tank. Your charge is there to pick off enemies that are, maybe ulting or you think are valuable targets for you to get. Not for you to just charge in there from really far away, hope to get a kill. Ugh. I wouldn't have even bothered shooting the Mei wall. It's not a... It'll go down before you can kill it. Alright. Another ult. I think he used that way too quick. Way too quick. Let's rewind. Okay, pause. Is this who is this person right next to him? I can't tell. It's a little blurry. Okay, it's McCree. McCree is right there next to him. That's good. Who is behind him? Do we know? I don't know. He hasn't looked. I think the audio just cut out there for a second. That's weird. So, but basically what I'm saying here is we don't know who was behind him. And there's no way he can know who's behind him because he didn't look. And we're seeing exactly what he sees. So going in there and ulting like that, when you're not actually sure if your team is with you and they're with you to capitalize on it, I don't think is a very good idea. You just ran in there and ulted 2 people. If you waited it, you timed it a little bit better. Not only could you have ground slammed more than 2 people, earth shattered more than 2 people, sorry. You could have also had teammates with you to secure the point. Oh, okay. Going for the Lucio, that's good. Take out the Lucio. Now this is a situation I would have charged. This I would have charged by now. Not too bad, he got the kill. Now whatever you do, charges are best when you can pin someone to a wall very quickly. When you charge across the whole map and you separate yourself from the team, charge here. This is a situation, once again, I would have charged. Especially when you're in the Mei circle. You just got hit by a Mei ult. I think his audio is cutting out. Hopefully, I apologize. But he just stood there when the Mei ult did. You do anything to get out of that Mei ult, because 90% of the time, if you're caught in a Mei ult, you're dead. So it's going to be worth it to use all of your abilities to get out. I mean, with the exclusion of your ult. But the charge, you could have charged out of the Mei's freeze, the Mei's blizzard. I would have done that. Alright, now this just comes down to nobody's with him again. McCree is the only one with him. Ferris to the left. Random charge again. Okay, now this is a disaster. Now if he got that hammer off, you may think it would have been great, right? It would not have been. There was nobody with him. He shouldn't have tried to even ult there. He tried to ult and it wasn't good. I'm glad he didn't get it off, because if we go back and we look at that, I'll pause it when the time comes. So right here he tries to ult. You notice anything? The only person alive on his team is Farah. There's nobody else. You can see there's some teammates off to the side. If he lands this ult, what is he going to do? This team is all protected by Lucio buff. Chances are he's not actually going to hit every one of the enemy team, and they're just going to kill him, and his ult would have been wasted. So I'm glad he didn't get that off. I'm glad he died, because now he can use that in a better way. Hopefully he uses it in a better way. Because so far these ults I have not been a fan of so far. And remember, this is all just to help him. We're not trying to berate him. We're not trying to make him sound like a bad player. I mean, we're trying to improve. He's trying to get better at the game, and this is what you have to do if you want to get better. That death was ridiculous. Not on his. Not that death was not on him. Look at where his whole team. His team is behind him, and they couldn't even save him from the Reaper. That's not on him. That's on that Roadhog for not pulling that Reaper the moment he saw him. All right, trying to get to the fight faster. 2 teammates dead. Junkrat going off on his own. Staggered deaths. Whole enemy team is grouped up on the point, and everybody look at Junkrat's to the right. Someone was to the left. I think it was Roadhog. Just died. And now it's just staggered death. Staggered deaths. Can't do anything. I mean, you can do something about it. Charge him back. Charge him back. This fight's yours if you charge him back. Yeah, you took the fight either way. Not too bad. Okay. Second point. They're never going to get it. Okay, so for the first time, his whole team is together. His whole team is together. He wastes his ults. Doesn't try to avoid the Mei ult. Try backstepping out of that. That ult was... I don't think it really hit anybody with that. The whole team is together, though. This is what we want. Would you look at that? I think they got the point. Would you look at that? The miracle of working as a team. They all conveniently died at the same time and pushed together, and would you look at that? First try when this whole team pushes the point together, they get it. That's what you need to be doing all along, man. You need to be coordinating that. Now, sometimes it's hard to control your team, but what I recommend doing, getting into comms, even text chat, tell people you need to be pushed together as a team. I will shield you guys. Stay behind me and you will be protected. That's what you should be saying. Now let's fast forward this up. Now he might not play Reinhardt a lot. We'll get something different on defense, it looks like. He wants to play Winston? You want to play Winston? Yeah, and then right now... Alright, right now they don't have a healer. They have 2 tanks. A Symmetra. Alright, right now it looks like... I don't like this team comp. I don't like Ana, for one. I know she can be played, but at this rank, I don't think she's good enough. I don't think she should be played at this competitive ranking. Bastion, at this competitive ranking, can probably wreck some people, so we'll see how he does. I think they only have 1 healer. You only have 1 healer, is that correct? This is a good spot as Bastion. I don't mind this spot at all, but you gotta make sure... you gotta think about this, though. When you're a Bastion right here, and enemies flank to the left, you're useless. When you're a Bastion right here, and your teammate's trying to defend the actual choke point, and you're trying to defend the area behind the choke point, you're useless until enemies come up. Now, he seems to have found... Shoot the soldier right below you. There's a soldier right in front of you. He should have shot the soldier that was right in front of him. That was a kill. Focus 1 target at a time. Focus 1 target at a time. Try finishing a target before you move on, unless circumstances prevail. Alright, good. This is hard to watch. Not because of him. I mean, I would not have sat down right there. I do not like sitting down in the middle of battle, but it worked. Now, I don't say it's not hard to watch because he's like a terrible player or anything. Nothing he did was particularly bad. It's hard to watch because if I tried pulling this off, or if someone else tried pulling this off, it would not be pretty. So the key takeaways here of this Bastion round: enemies don't seem to have good enough aim to kill you while you're moving into your turret mode. He recognizes that Genji's got deflect. Should have gotten out of the turret the moment you saw that. I think you could have escaped, to be honest. Should have just backed off. Tracer doesn't have enough damage to kill you. Just back off. Like right here. Back off. Just get up and back away. It's better than the alternative, which is dying. But anyway, the key takeaways from that first part. Like I said originally, when he was in that other point, when he was back, so you have the main choke point. When he was back kind of behind it over here, if this is the main choke, he's like back here, defending the secondary choke point. He's not concentrating fire with his team. They're not all working on the same thing. You ulted before you saw any enemies. Oh, man. Oh, man. Okay, that was no lies. That was a wasted ultimate. You should definitely get some vision on some enemies before you ult. And this, yeah, I was going to say, please don't stay here. This isn't a very good spot. He's utilizing the fact that you reload every time you switch. That's good. That's good. Putting in some work on those enemies right there. Good. I think he should move. Okay, he moved. He recognized that. He didn't move very far, but there's a Genji up there. I don't think he should go for the Genji. I think he should communicate to his team to get the Genji. There's not much he can do against the Genji. But apparently this guy doesn't want to ever enter the point, so if you just ignore him, nothing will happen, I guess. Set yourself up. Set yourself up, man. You need to set yourself up. Bastion's power is in his sentry. Interesting. Focus the target. Finish the Reinhardt before you move to someone else. Finish the target before you move to someone else. Your DPS is so high. So high. Finish your first target before you move to a new one. I understand he probably thought Lucio. Prioritize the Lucio because it's the support, and that's normally the right mindset. You were like 3/4 of the way through the enemy Reinhardt's health. Finish him off, then go for the Lucio because you know the enemy tank can be very important as well. And since it's not a mercy, you don't have to worry about revives. Almost killed himself. Recognize that getting up was the good. Yeah, okay. Now back up, back up. He should just back up into this hole. Sit himself down. He knows the enemy Genji isn't alive. He killed him. So sitting down here, there's no one that can deflect your shots. You should just sit down and try to deal as much damage as possible, which eventually he does. Doesn't see the Pharah to the top right, though. That's the game. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right, let's watch play the game because it's rude not to watch play the game. Okay, he didn't get it. Oh, wait, did he? No, he didn't get it. But we'll see. We'll see what it was anyway. I think this was the enemy Reinhardt. Wow. Oh, boy. That was kind of nasty. Whew. That was absolutely disgusting, actually. All right. So what can we get from this? Let me pause the video here. Let me take a think. I'm just gonna think for a few. I'm gonna cut the video. So what can he gather from this video? What did we see that he really needs to work on? Well, for one, as Reinhardt, I really think he needs to stick with his team. Even if his team goes off to the side somewhere else, when his damage dealers are off without him, they are vulnerable. When he is not with his damage dealers, he is vulnerable. So they need to stay together more often. Another thing is to stop your random charging. Don't just charge literally as like across the map. He's charging from the choke point on the second point to the point. Like these long charges make you very vulnerable because you can't move a lot. So enemies are going to shoot you. They can predict your movement. You make yourself very vulnerable, and you're not protecting your team when you do that. Ults. Ult with your team. Ult with your team. It doesn't matter if you wipe 5 out of 6 of the enemies with your ultimate when you die in the process and your team isn't there because you don't capture the point. So make every ultimate count and make sure your team can capitalize on it. Now moving on to Bastion, that was some tips for Reinhardt. With Bastion, finish a target before you move on to a new one. You were like all over the place. You were aiming at this guy, then this guy, then this guy. And you did so much damage, you just didn't finish anybody. So finish someone before you move on. Your DPS is very high, so that should allow you to do that. Try focusing the same enemies as your team. Like I said, he was in a good spot, but his team was focusing the enemies in a different location. And while his team was focusing the enemies over here, he was waiting over here, and he wasn't being very helpful at that point. It worked for him, but I'm not sure it won't for very long if he improves. Don't go into Sentry mode mid-fight as Bastion, and also learn to stop playing Bastion. Not because he's a noob, nothing bad, just Bastion will become less effective as you get better. So for now, you can play him, but as you get better, try to stop playing Bastion. And then don't ult before you have vision of the enemies. He ulted without any vision of the enemies, and it was wasted. So I recommend make sure you know where enemies are before you ult. And that's pretty much it. If you guys have anything for him, leave them in the comments. Be sure to not be rude. Don't be disrespectful. I will delete comments if you're rude. Be helpful to him. Tell me if there's anything you saw that I didn't. And be sure to submit your clips. There's a way to do that down below. I'll see you guys all later. Lone Hawk out.